Hello there. In this video I'm going to show you how you can use a Mayan symbol, in this instance for a star, and personalize it by here adding a Harrington font, capital letter A. And we're going to do that using Fluid Designer for 3D printing. First thing is in the 3D templates connectors folder, I'm going to use this wire connector with a 1.5mm diameter hole. That'll be the ring for the fishhook. I'm going to use an alphabet Harrington font, capital letter A, and I'm also going to use some patterns, and we're going to use the Mayan glyphs patterns. Now there are a number of different patterns available within the folder, so you could choose any of these. I'm going to use the star pattern here. So if I just drag and drop that object onto the workspace, and I'll just switch on screencast keys, so any key presses I make are displayed down here. Now if I just rock that, you can see that the size of this object, well, it's the size of the grid, and over here we can see that it's 21mm by 21mm, and that's 20mm is the default size of the grid, so that gives you an idea of the size of this object. If you wanted to make it smaller, you could scale it down, but I'm going to keep it at that size there. And if we look over here, we can see that the bevel object, this is actually 1mm by 1mm. If you wanted to change that and make it thicker, because this is a parametric smart object, you could do. But that's not a good idea if you're making an earring, which is what we're doing here in this video. So you want to really keep it at 1 by 1 to keep the weight down. Okay, so there's our star pattern Mayan glyph. And so if I go to view and top view, first thing I can do is I want to add a, let me just click group library there just to refresh this file list here, folder list. I'm going to use a alphabet Harrington font as I showed you, and I'm going to use uppercase letter A. So I'm going to append this object here, and I do that by going to File and Append. Just go up through the menu system until you get to the Groups folder, and I'm going to use a Harrington font, so I want Patterns Alphabet Harrington font. I want capital letter A, and we always append the object, so it's Harrington font A. We append that from the library. And if I just click on it to make sure that it's selected, now that's moving because something called proportional editing is on. If I just press the O key on the keyboard, that will switch off proportional editing. So if that happens, just press O on the keyboard, if two objects move together like that. Now I'm going to scale this letter A down just a little bit, so if I do S on the keyboard for scale, I'll just scale it down a couple of increments there. Now whenever you're scaling Fluid Designer for 3D printing, you must always do Control A and apply the scale immediately afterwards, and that will reset the thickness of it. If you don't do that, your thicknesses will not be as recorded in the properties panel over here. Now as you can see, this is a different thickness from the star, but if I hold down the shift key, the A is highlighted at the moment. If I hold down the shift key and click on the Mayan glyph star pattern, and then go to Tools, Object Tools, and join the two objects together, notice that the letter A takes on the properties of the star, so the letter A now has got a cross section of 1mm by 1mm, which is what I want, because I need to keep the weight down if this is an earring. So now what I want is a connector, so that's in 3D templates connectors folder, and I'm going to use this one here with a 1.5mm diameter hole. So I go to File and Append, just go up through the menu system until you get to the Groups folder, go to 3D templates connectors. I'm going to use the wire connector with a 1.5mm diameter hole, and you just append that from the library. And I'm just scrolling the center mouse button to zoom in here and just pull that object up, and I'm just going to pull it, well, I'm just going to switch off the snap so I can just position it I can go into wireframe mode here and see exactly where it is. You don't want it sticking out the bottom, you want it somewhere in the middle there. And I'll just switch snap back on. And now what I want to do is to join them together. So the connector is highlighted. If I hold down Shift key, highlight the star, Tools, Object Tools and Join, and notice that the connector has taken on the same cross section one by one as the star. And that's basically it now. That's your personalised Mayan glyph star pattern earring. And what we would do now is export it. I usually use Wavefront OBJ format. You could use STL. And I export it to the desktop as a personalised Mayan star earring. And what you must then do once you've exported it is you must go to Netfabb Basic and run the repair procedure in Netfabb Basic. Automatic repair and execute. And apply the repair and remove the old part. And that's your finished personalised earring. And you just go to Part, Export it as a Wavefront object. As I say, I saved it as Personalised Mayan Star Earring. And that's your file that can be 3D printed. Simple as that. Thank you.